it's hard to put it into words, truly, right? I mean, I love this game so much, and I love the history of it so much, and to be part of this edition and have a chance to possibly win it with everything that comes with it, and how great of a venue this is. It's very unique, right? I've said in a few interviews, in my opinion, this is my opinion, this is truly the pinnacle of golf. I don't think it gets any bigger than being able to win an Open in St. Andrews. No offense to any other tournament in the world, but it's the oldest championship, one of the oldest courses, and where it all started. Especially when you get it in the setup we have this week, is nice and firm and rolling and tricked out as it can be. It's going to be a really fun one, so I'm looking forward to it.
Jon, how are your preparations going?
Great. Coming over from the Scottish Open, practiced a little bit yesterday afternoon. I'm glad that we have a windy day today on Tuesday before we start the tournament, because that way you can truly see how the golf course, how much of a test it can be, right, and how different holes play. So I'm hoping we get a couple different wind directions today and tomorrow. If not, it is what it is. But looking forward to it and looking to have some fun today. Lucky enough to be in a pretty decent group with 2 Open champions. So hopefully I'll learn as much as I can from them today.
Excellent. Have we got some questions for the floor for Jon, please? Yep, just in the front row.
Hi, Jon. You played the Dunhill in 2019. Despite it playing very different, what was the takeaways from somebody who's obviously a student of the game from that experience and seeing the old course in St Andrews for the first time?
Well, I didn't have my best swing that day, and usually when I'm swinging badly, I'm missing right. And the front nine was left to right wind like today, but it was into, and I think I hit it into every single right-hand bunker in the front nine that I could. So don't hit it right. That's the one thing I learned. You can see it, right? It's based on the wind. Whatever wind conditions you get and whatever wind direction you get can change this golf course drastically. So you have to know when to dial it back, when to be aggressive, and what holes you have to take the right line on and what holes you can bail out left of the tee, right? Because you can go left all day, but for certain pin locations and certain winds, you're really going to truly short side yourself. So you have to take your chances at the right time. So again, it's the beautiful aspect of this course. It lets you play your game, but there's some holes where you're going to have to take a risk.
2 at the back, please.
Is there anything specific in the last couple of days, given the way the conditions are set up right now, that you've been working on that's different from any preparation you might have had at this course previously?
Not really. The times I've played here before, it was soft. And I remember on one, my first time I played in competition was into the wind. I hit driver 9-iron. Highly doubt that's going to happen today, right? So I think a lot of experience comes from playing here and enough, but I don't think you ever see it in these conditions, right? So even people that have played in the past, you're hitting different shots of the tee. The greens are reacting different, so there's still a learning process when it's playing this firm. So I think if anything, it almost evens out the field a little bit more.
Are you doing anything different, though, this
No.
week? Okay.
No, I mean, luckily, there's a reason why we played last week and being so close is because the course the last few days played similar to what this course is going to play. So you just need to be in complete command of your golf ball out here, especially when you get firm. Those margins get a little bit narrower. And no surprise Tiger's played so good here, right? Your approaches into the green need to be really, really precise. Otherwise, you might set yourself in some difficult spots. So if there's anything that I'll be doing especially, it would be lag putting. You can hit greens and you can be really far away from it, so making sure your touch is there, it's very important. I've seen enough interviews and enough highlights to see that if you can avoid 3 putts here, you'll be putting from easily 40 yards away. If you can avoid 3 putts, it's going to be a huge bonus.
Yeah, just to the side here, please.
You mentioned that St Andrews, you feel like this is the pinnacle of golf. Why do you think that is? Where does it compare with an Augusta or a Pebble Beach or some of the other courses? What is it about this place that makes it the pinnacle for you?
History. It's as simple as that. History. I wouldn't say there's anything with the golf course itself, which is plenty special, right? I mean, I don't think there's many other courses where there's only 5 individual greens and all the shared fairways and all these blind spots and all there's many different ways of playing it. It is just the history of the game and how much it means, right? I know the Open first started in Prestwick, but the R&A Clubhouse being here and being part of the Scottish heritage that it is, right? That area around the 18th green first tee is as unique as it gets. And I've heard multiple champions say it, I think it was Jack and Tiger both probably because they accomplished it. Is you can't really call yourself a great player unless you win the Open in St Andrews, which is a very selected group to say, and I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, but I do know what they mean. And it can almost put your career to another level just because how great of a venue this one is. Mainly history. That's what I would say.
Steve.
John, what are you thinking on the 17th tee and from tee to green? How challenging and unique is that hole?
Yeah, I don't know. Very hard. Very, very hard. Again, wind direction plays a huge role. Today, like right now, be into of the right. So you have to either start it over the roof of the hotel or somehow cut it into the wind and try to find the fairway and have a really long iron coming into a very narrow green. So it's a proper championship hole coming down the stretch, right? 16 is not easy, 17 is not easy. 18, obviously, not as hard as it could be. It's not that is the easiest. Obviously, under pressure, any hole can be hard, but 17 is a proper test for somebody that has a one-shot lead. If you can make a par on that hole, it definitely feels like a birdie anytime. So, just difficult. Just difficult. I think it was Lee Trevino telling me yesterday how this golf course was meant to play clockwise. So you were meant to play from the first tee to the 17th green. And that almost made sense because that way the green would be uphill, the bunker would be on the right. It's almost easier to access because it's definitely a really tricky entrance to the green from the fairway we play at, and then the green from there, it's all downhill. So a little bit of interesting history. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if he made it up or not, but it actually made sense. So, just a curious fact that he told me about it. But, it's a proper championship hole.
Doug, please.
Twofold, John, if you don't mind. What do you think is your biggest takeaway from Brookline? What was your biggest learning moment?
You don't need to play perfect to win a championship. I was fighting my swing all week, and I still gave myself a chance. So I think that's the biggest takeaway. If it wasn't something I already knew, it's something that's known now, right? You have to post a score and find a way to do it. It's simple. I know that's the game of golf, but the whole week I was not comfortable fighting my swing and trying to just put the ball in play, which I ended up working out for the most part.
And then secondly, this is, I'm guessing, your 4th or 5th full season of a major schedule. Have you found at all that when you get to the last one of the year, does it put any more emphasis on it for you? Are you aware of it? Is there any more urgency?
No. I think it's pretty equal throughout. To be honest, because my first few years, I still played the PGA after the Open. Sometimes when I get to the Open, I don't feel like it's the last one. I don't know how long it'll get to set in, but I wouldn't want to go to the first tee on Thursday on with the urge of having to win because it's the last one. Not really. It's just, being the tournament it is, it's a big enough deal.
Number 2, please.
Hi, John. You mentioned speaking to Lee Trevino, and I know you said about JT getting a dissertation off Tiger. Have you had any more luck picking the brains of these guys in recent weeks?
I tried to, and I tried to ask Lee, but the game of golf has changed quite a bit, right? And the golf balls we play and the materials we play have changed a little bit. So he can give me some pointers on what he did, but it's not always transferable to what we do now. But he told me a few things that were very interesting, but nothing special.
Number 4, please.
John, part of the specialness of this week, obviously, is being back here in St. Andrews and being in the town and whatnot. Do you get an opportunity at all to go into town to experience any of the things outside of the golf course, if you will, on a week like this?
No. It's too many people. And when you walk around with logos on your shirt, you're pretty recognizable already. So I I wish I could. There's a couple of stores, bookstores, golf history books that I would love to go into and possibly buy and purchase a few. But we drove by it yesterday, and there were so many people. I was not going to deal with that. I mean, I would love to be able to go. Hopefully, I can come back at some point and go in and at least see it. But I don't think I'm going to this week. We did go to this one Indian restaurant, which I forget the name of it, the last 2 nights, which is unbelievable. And that is as far as I ventured into the town.
John.
John, you clearly love the history of this place. Have you got any favourite moments that you can share that you particularly like about being here?
I mean, I don't want to go with the obvious, but '84 was very, very special for all Spanish people. So I'm gonna go with that. That image of Seve celebrating it's an iconic image for not only for us but for the world of golf. So I would say '84.
Right. Do we have any more questions for John in English? If not, we'll move to 2 in Spanish, please.
Miquel. Bueno, John, aquí se juntan un poco dos historias, ¿no? La historia del golf español en San Andrés y también tu historia personal cuando has venido a jugar aquí, con tu familia y tu experiencia aquí, ¿no? Entonces, quería que comentaras un poco sobre esto.
Historia personal. A ver, es más la anécdota, ¿no? De que ahí está cuando empezó a jugar y vinimos de vacaciones y nos trajo, ¿no? Y tiene una foto de Eris y yo pateando. No me acuerdo en qué patear, no sé si es el del tee del 1, creo que es el del tee del 1. Y ahí queda la anécdota, ¿no? Porque no jugábamos a golf, solo mi aita. Yo todavía era un poco pequeño, no me acuerdo el viaje entero. Pero, hombre, se junta la historia del golf español, ¿no? Lo que hizo Seve en el 84 y que ninguno hayamos podido ganar un Open desde entonces, que si me llegas a decir, yo pensaría que Chema y Sergio hubiesen conseguido uno, ¿no? Y mira que Sergio lo tuvo ahí en las manos y Chema en 2005 estuvo cerca. Así que a ver si alguno puede esta semana.
Y bueno, estamos hablando cómo preparas esta semana para San Andrés, ¿no? Y con las condiciones y cómo está el campo, un poco cuál es tu análisis, ¿no?
En este campo, cuando tienes 9 hoyos, básicamente una edición, los 9 para otro, es el viento. Es que el viento te puede cambiar totalmente cómo juega el día, ¿no? Así que es mayormente qué tipo de viento tienes y ajustarte ese día, ¿no? Un poco adaptarse al día que tienes y al golf que puedes jugar. Ahora el resto es mayormente, diría yo, coger el toque alrededor de los greens. Coger el feeling y coger la distancia de los pads y la velocidad de los greens es importante.
Right. Unless we have any other final questions in English for John, I think we'll wrap it up there, and we'll say thank you very much for your time today, John. Best of luck this week.
I'm going to leave before somebody asks about live golf right now.